Tempestus Scions are stormtroopers acting as elite troops for the astramilitarum and the Inquisition. Trained by youth in the art of war, they are the finest troops that can be fielded by the Imperial Army. There are 5 soldiers in this first squad. Next we will see the command squad too, but in the meanwhile, let's look at these badass boys and see if they keep up the expectations. The Tempestor is a cool guy and has volunteered to show us the content of the package. They are mostly the same, with just specific weapons changing and of course the figure itself. Scions are armed with energy-ranged weapons like laser and plasma rifles. No bolters here, but the chainsaw is an indispensable tool for the Imperium. Nobody can live without having one. All figures have this awesome backpack, which is packed with details, and it looks just awesome. Scions definitely have the best treatment in many aspects. The laser pistol is quite big, but we are used to bolt pistols, so this is not that impressive. Once the figures have been freed from their plastic cages, the first impression is, whoa, they look amazing. Let's see if this is confirmed. I love the light blue color and the gold rims. There is even abundant use of shading for cloth parts, while the armor plates have some light highlights. Articulations for legs use double joints and are quite good backward, but the hip armor plates are a problem. I don't plan to pose them as Jean-Claude Van Damme, so this is pretty minor. Arms joints seem okay, full rotation for shoulders and about 90 degrees at elbow. Not incredible, but this is the price to pay for all of these cool armor plates. The head can incline just the bare minimum for the basic needs. The camera and the antenna block a full rotation, but since our scions are not going to be possessed by demons, this is also a minor issue. Let's look now at the backpack for one of the guys with the laser rifle. The look is the same and it is great, but by experience those tubings are always going to give some issues when posing figures. I usually heat them with an hairdryer to facilitate the process. The problem appears when I try to make the laser guy hold the weapon properly for, aiming at the enemy and fire. The shoulder articulation cannot move out, not even a bit, so you are stuck with these short arms trying to make him grab the weapon in an almost natural way. The bulky chest does not help either, so you have a very bad combination of factors that make posing him quite difficult, if not plain impossible. In the end, I gave up, and I made my scions essentially pose as marching towards the enemies instead of firing at them. It is still cool, but also a bit forced. Am I alone in this suffering because of their poor articulations? Let me know in the comment section below. Moving to the plasma rifle, there is this soft but not enough soft belt that is put on the top, so it will always look unnatural unless you fold it in some way, possibly after hitting it, or make the figure shoulder the weapon, which is not really the combat posture you want. The gun itself looks nicely made, I can't complain about that. What I can complain about instead is that, like for the laser rifle, the very same articulation issues make it difficult to impossible to aim the plasma in a natural aiming posture. Lol, its belt is so hard that it even decapitated the poor soldier trying to perform its duty. Fortunately, action figures are resilient to decapitation, so we can proceed further with our review. Yet, there is not a real remedy for these short arms and the limited articulation. The luckiest in the group is definitely the Tempestor, who has the easiest life of them all. Just a normal laser pistol and a chainsaw to happily show around and diligently slay the enemies of the Imperium of Man. As I said, I have given up making the laser rifle guys try to aim their guns and just gave them a more relaxed hold my gun pose. It is not as aggressive as I would have desired, but it is still martial enough for a guy advancing through the battlefield looking for enemies, and hoping he will never find any since he is unable to aim properly. This is a pattern that I had to employ for all of them, weapons in hand and marching towards the enemy. The plasma guy looks particularly silly, but I will find another way for him one day. At least there is some variety. Scions are elite, being much taller than average humans, and so the poor Krieg medic is a bit short compared to them, but he can make a reason for this. Instead, the Skitari Marshal is not as tall as the Scion, but he fares much better than a marauder infantryman from Infinity Wars. With the Salute Golden Legion from Battle for the Stars, we finally have a match for the Scions, but being not really humans, it is just for the sake of comparison. Moving back to 40k, Gotor the Blade is one of the shortest Space Marines, and he's probably a renegade Scion undercover, I guess. Finally, we have the Chaos Sorcerer in Terminator armor putting the Scions back to their place. He looks massive, even without a base. Good job. All in all, I would advise the Scions only to people that really like the figures and or are ready to fight by articulating them. Not being able to handle rifles properly is a bit of a letdown because of the figures looking amazing and they are, for all other aspects, well made. If we must run towards the enemy, at least give us some bayonets. Well, that is all that I have to say. Let me know what you think in the comment section below and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.